Pod in the City is a Sex in the City podcast and thus contains adult themes and explicit content. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Pod in the City. I'm Amanda.
And I'm John.
We're two besties who bonded over Sex in the City in college.
And now, 20 years later, we're reliving it like it's our very first time. Season 2, Episode 10, The Caste System. Carrie and Mr. Big say the big I love you, while Miranda has class problems with her bartender boyfriend. Samantha dates a rich man, and Charlotte gets caught in the fast lane.
Ooh.
I love how the descriptions of these, now, mind you, credit to the Google credit to Google for those. Every time the descriptions, it's like they leave out some details that you'd think that they would put in, and then they add details that you're like, really? Like Charlotte gets caught in the fast lane. I'm living for that. Anyway, hi guys, welcome. Hi.
I was about to launch into like a whole thing about this documentary that takes place in France that's called Life in the Fast Lane or like Murder on the Fast Lane, and I went through a whole thing where I'm like, I feel like he's gonna get mad at me once I look into that because it's gonna be like a
okay
conversation.
Preface. I don't ever get mad. I don't think I've ever been mad at you. I don't think I've ever been mad at
you either.
Like.
No.
I mean, I think back in the day, we've probably been mad at each other. Right?
I don't really remember ever being mad at anyone other than Brad.
Wait, hold on here. Let me fix. Okay, I think that might be better.
Well, whatever you did, you glitched, but now you're better.
Oh, I did. Okay,
yeah.
Well, I was like fixing my mic, making it louder.
Don't stop touching stuff.
Don't touch it. There was some unwanted situations happening in this episode, I thought.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's assault. Anyway, guys.
Which part? This part?
Go into the bath. No, well, honestly, the like blowing smoke into her mouth after she just said, I don't
Yeah.
It was kind of like,
that was like forcing like
drugging someone.
A pill down someone's throat.
Yeah, like I
guess it's not quite.
I don't think that's, well, it depends, I guess.
But it reminded me of Chad. I almost said
Che Diaz?
Chaz Diaz.
Chaz Diaz.
She remember that's what they got Miranda with that, and then Miranda had those dreams about it, and then Che Diaz is like in that.
It was like in an operating room, like
yeah,
it looked like whiteness.
Like,
again, lighting is everything. Lighting is everything, y'all. I need a dark, moody lighting give us a red hue if you're gonna get into some lady fucking. On. Anyway, oops. I said the F word. It's only 3 minutes in. Hi, guys.
Miranda's sexual fantasies take place in fluorescent lighting.
It's like, that doesn't make sense because famously, gay people don't like fluorescent overhead lighting. We don't like that.
I don't think anyone likes it.
Well,
why just gay people?
Famously, I'm just saying. Now, there's some straight people who I think are fine with that. Well, you're gay adjacent, okay. I like to say. Anyway,
so some people
guys,
are so straight.
This is your first time listening. We've just
I know, but this is my third record of the day.
You guys, I'm hoping that if you're just jumping in here, I know we get new subscribers every episode that we post. So if this is like the first one you're watching, I implore you to go back and watch other ones too, because they're good. This, we just started off on like la-di-da. Anyway, so if you're interested, last week our episode, I think we deleted that cover. Oops.
I did.
Over on our Patreon, oh shit, I didn't put in the other one. Anyway, I'm gonna try and sound less like not so messed up here. Okay, so we have a Patreon, guys. If you like listening to the sound of our voice over there, what we do is we split it like half of our little, we do an extra episode every single week. Okay. A biggie. The beginning half is like, we talk about our lives. Amanda's going to tell us about getting it on.
Well,
she's going to tell us a
they're not supposed
deep
to know that.
story. Oh.
Also, it hasn't happened yet.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it will have happened by the time this episode.
And then I'm sure I'll talk about something. I do have something that I wanted to share on our weekly roundup, which, guys, if you're only watching this, go over and check out our weekly roundups because they're kind of fun. We always talk about hot guys,
hot topics,
stuff, TV shows,
gossip,
movies, gossip. Like, we run the gamut, baby. So check it out. But well, like I was saying, we also have a Patreon where we have full episodes every single week. First half, chit chat. Second half, we get to it. And this week, we're talking all about an episode of Broad City.
It's a good one. They're all good. It's so good. I remember that episode from watching it the first time and being like, "Wow, that was really impressive."
I did too, but watching it back now as a 38-year-old, I just think, God, if I was in that, I would be so tired.
Oh, I would have bailed before they got to Grand Central Station. I would have bailed before that.
You mean in real life? Okay,
yeah,
in real life
was involved, I'm not even going.
Oh, sweetie, in real life, the running down the street at the beginning would have been my out. I'd been like, I'll get in a car. I'll see y'all in Connecticut. Bye.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, go check that out if you're interested. We also last week we did an outrageous episode of the Golden Girls, which was just
it was perfect.
Chef's kiss, baby. So
let's
check
get
out that
into news and gossip.
Yeah, baby.
All right, so no real news, but they are okay. There is one picture that I feel like I had many theories about, but
yes. Okay, so if you guys don't remember, they've been filming currently as of today in August of 2024. They are filming season 3 of And Just Like That, and we have been speculating all along as the photos have been coming out of what's going to happen. We've had Rosie, we've had Jennifer Lewis, the mother. And then and now what we've been speculating is they've been having all these black costumes, like full-on black costumes. And we're like, okay, there's a funeral here. Someone's dying. But I just wanted to lay the groundwork. So
you want to get right into that then?
No, let's go through the fashion shots.
Yeah, this was And Just Like That HBO, I think, that the account on Instagram. And they wanted you to like rate the things anyway. All of these things have little like ratings things, so just ignore that. Okay.
I was wondering what that was. Okay, we've seen this one, right?
Yeah.
This was the one I dogged her out on the hat. From this angle, it looks better.
Yes.
But I do wish that there was something more with the hair, or I wish that the hair was in a tight bun. I just feel like the hair feels really casual, and then it feels like she has a witch hat on top of it.
She always kind of looks odd in hats, but I definitely want to have a conversation about what we think of, because Carrie is wearing her hair long and straight in this whole episode we're about to do, and I want your opinion on it.
Of why she did it?
No, of just like if we like it. I don't. Spoiler. I don't like the long straight hair.
Well, I think it was because she must have just gotten a Brazilian blowout for something else. So she's like keeping it the whole episode. Except what drove me wild is the scene where she has it straight first, and then she goes and has a scene where she has taken the time. We're to believe that Carrie Bradshaw, because she does say famously, allegedly, that she never wanted her hair to look like something that she couldn't do, right?
Right.
So she has taken the time to get her to fully straighten her hair, and then she has added crimps.
I loved it. That's something I would have done in like probably. I almost promise you that I wore my hair like that the day after this aired.
I did not dislike the crimps. I just thought it was kind of wild that she took her naturally like kinky and curly hair and completely totally straightened it and then crimped over it. It was like, wow, that was a process. But you know what? I've never had the luxury of being able to crimp my hair, so maybe I don't know what it's like.
and it's really easy too. I also hated when Jennifer Aniston was doing the movie Rockstar. Remember that box office bomb? No.
No.
Okay,
like, who was in that? Wait, was Mark Wahlberg in that?
Yes, that's what it was. Was it? That sounds right.
Ugh. I hate Mark Wahlberg. Anyway, continue.
Speaking of 9/11,
you've seen his like diet situation?
Yeah, his like regiment.
That he wakes up at like 4 a.m. Yeah, 3 a.m. and then prays for 30 minutes, then drinks
really boring.
something crazy, then works out, then goes and plays golf, then works out, then goes and swims, then works out, then sees his kid for 5 minutes, then goes and runs. And then I'm like, okie dokie.
Anyway, Jennifer Aniston during that movie like had, I think they were extensions. No, they. Okay. Well, I guess because you kind of have to leave those in. You can't really take those in and out every day, can you? I feel like you can. Well, anyway, when she was filming that, she had long hair for a while on Friends, and it was really long and just straight like that. And I always hated it. I thought it looked really just like gross, like greasy almost.
Yeah, I think if I had curly-ish hair, I would like want it to be like that. I don't really like long straight hair. You know who looks good with long straight hair though? Drag queens.
Yeah,
Roxy Andrews, you know, flipping her hair. I mean, God, I part of me wants to like at one point in my life just buy a wig that Roxy Andrews would wear, like a butt length long hair, just so I could like just go like whip it around.
Well, you
like,
can.
That just has. I mean,
do whatever you want.
Yeah, but I would want
like
high quality. That's what I'm
it.
saying. I'm not gonna, Amanda. I'm not at a place in my life where I need to be spending $1,000 on a butt length wig just so I can swing it around in my house. Well, I also don't think it's financially responsible.
The Barbies are well, okay, but don't worry about that.
Charge $1,000 wig so I can I can wear it in my house and just swing my head around.
I could justify that to myself so easily.
Okay. I'm not judging you.
Anyway, I don't like this outfit. Let's do this one. Okay, so this is Bitsy BVM. We decided
Bitsy's back, baby, which I am so happy. So happy. She was one of my favorite moments in season 1. And
she's in a couple episodes of season 2, and they're strong. So, like I told you, season 2 has some really heartfelt, strong episodes.
Guys, stick in here too, because we're going to be reviewing season 2 in like a month or so. And it'll be my first watch.
Yeah.
Just like when we watched And Just Like
same,
That.
Yeah. But we don't have to do those fucking clips anymore.
Thank you.
That was so miserable.
I don't know why we ever decided to do that.
I don't know either.
Anyway.
God.
So great. I'm so excited that Bitsy's back. I think this outfit's cute, but I definitely, again, sorry, if Pat Fields was here, there'd be a little more flair. This just
I do like this.
This looks like an outfit that I would see an older woman wearing at the Phoenix Art Museum or at Scottsdale Fashion Square.
Oh, that just made me miss Phoenix for like a second. Actually, I always miss Phoenix. What? Hot?
It is so hot here that I just...
But if I wouldn't like the next time I go to the US, once I'm scared, once I'm not scared anymore that they're going to stop me at the border, I'm going to come to Phoenix because that's like where all my friends are.
Duh! You have to come to Phoenix.
Yeah,
and we have to record a podcast in person. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, that baby.
Yeah, that baby. That part.
Just her boyfriend's in a cabaret right now at Phoenix Theater.
I didn't realize. Like, I saw that he was in cabaret.
Husband, yeah.
And I've seen their stuff online and everything. Like, he's fine.
I know he's really nice.
Fine.
And I feel so comfortable around him.
I would think so because Jenny's so sweet, nice, and great. So
she's on that JG Wentworth commercial.
She deserves.
She's like the most recognizable face on earth, I think, in Canada and the US. Don't you think, Jenny, from that JG Wentworth commercial?
Oh, see, I thought people more recognize. Personally, I've only ever seen that JG Wentworth commercial once. I don't think they played it locally. Well, I don't think they played it in Arizona.
They played it in New York. all day
Weirdly,
long.
I think they filmed it here because there's
They did.
multiple people from Arizona in it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think that other person is more probably recognizable. Like
Well, yeah, they're wearing a costume.
yeah.
But anyway, Jenny's the first person to sing on that episode, on that commercial. Where are we?
We also have our baby, my
Mhm.
queen, my aunt, just like that queen, Shar. I love the shoes.
I love the shoe.
Love the look. I think it's
blue and white pumps.
a little basic. But what can I say? Now, Lisa Todd Wexley, okay. Now, Oh, okay. I'm going to say what I'm liking, at least from my experience of season 1. Her outfits were so frumpy. They did not give her any shape at all. So I'm going to say that this outfit to me is an improvement.
Everything matches. Like there's nothing, there's no zany weird thing that's sticking out or anything.
Yeah, it's an improvement for me. I remember her outfit for the black outfits, for the possible funeral. And she's in a form-fitting outfit too in that. Now, I'm going to preface saying there's possibly a reason that she was in something less form-fitting for the other seasons.
Oh, maybe.
Like maybe I don't know. So I'm not going to say women should be in tight clothes. I'm just prefacing that.
My edible just kicked in and it was like, whoa.
Well, you did have a moment there and I was like, am I glitching out?
No, it was just me going like, hey, readjust. All right, we're back. All right, let's check this out. Okay, so we're getting into this funeral thing. Like, so whatever, that's Carrie.
Okay, you think, that's Carrie at the funeral? She's dressed kind of sexy for a funeral.
I don't know if it's a funeral though. That's what we're going to get into here.
It could be a wedding.
No, because there's a little thing in this big picture. I'll show you. Here's Aiden. The only reason I put that in there is because he's smoking a cigarette. So
I think this must have been on break or something.
Yeah, so he smokes. I always find it wild when I see people out in public just brazenly smoking. And I gotta say, they all look pretty cool. I'm like, oh, it's pretty cool. It's just like woo!
I like Aiden with shorter hair. Sorry. I think he looks fine in the suit. It's a man in a suit. She looks great.
Yeah, she looks great. So the end. Okay, let's break down this picture. What's this? Oh, this is cute for a second, and then it's all. It looks like the skirt is way too big, and it's just
it's like loose, hanging down. Yeah, I also don't like that every texture in here is like shiny. Like every
Photoshop.
fabric.
Look at her boobs; they look enormous.
Oh, maybe it is.
No, because this is still that thing. Well, whatever.
This is so bright. Something's going on with this photo, though. Like, everything looks reflective almost, and I don't like that. I need a different textures. I hate this outfit. This almost looks like they've put Carrie's head on, like, a porn star. Yeah, with the boobs and the hair and everything. It's kind of...
too. But look, let's break this down here.
Okay,
so what do we see here? They're all they're obviously on break.
Oh, God, I wish we had a zoomed-in version of this. I'm going to have to full size here. Because I need to see Carrie's bag.
Oh,
Carrie's bag is indicating things to me here.
Okay, so look where they are. They're at, it says Newark Free Theater. And then in the back diagonally, what does it say? What would it say? I
says
looked
PATC pod.
Yeah, I'm like, why did those letters seem like they work so well?
I think that probably says theater or...
okay, so I looked up at Newark Free Theater.
Okay.
I thought it was like the free clinic. So in my head, I thought that this was like some free theater thing. So maybe this has to do with chat. What is it? Che. I'm like,
maybe Che is gonna die.
Yeah, but like, because I can see Che dying, and because I would love, what a swing for them to take, and I can totally see them wanting their funeral to be like at the free theater, so that everyone can come and I don't know, they probably have some pre-recorded stand-up routine comedy concert act.
I'm going to still analyze the background players as well, of wondering who would be at Che Diaz's funeral.
Yes, and I think there was another angle too, and it is pretty much all people of color.
What does Carrie's bag say?
I don't know, but see that kind of Flop City? Yeah. So like, I don't think she'd take that to a funeral. And she's wearing like pants. So this looks like stylish, trendy funeral.
It could also be a wedding.
Or it's a waking funeral, like an alive funeral.
A what?
Which one? When I was really stoned the other day, I was like,
What the
we
fuck
should
is a
all
waking funeral?
I feel like everyone should get like their one funeral in their life where they can like sit and like watch everyone. It's like the most narcissistic thought I've ever had in my life.
So your prediction is that Che has set up a fake funeral so that
Diaz
they can watch from the back?
That would be like that would be such a good plot, I think. Do you not think so? You don't. Okay. Well,
I don't think we're gonna see Che on this season.
No, we are, but like I feel like this has something because this seems zany. Whatever's happening.
I think it's Lisa Todd Wexley, and I think it's still Lisa Todd Wexley's mother-in-law. I'm still predicting that.
But why would why would all of these people be there?
Because they're all friends with Lisa Todd Wexley.
Is Anthony friends with Lisa Todd Wexley?
Was he from this last season?
I think so. He was too busy getting his ass pounded.
Oh, so see, friends, I haven't seen season 2 yet. I'm still waiting. Yeah. I'm anxiously waiting. You know, every time I see it in my up next queue, I'm like, "Ooh, do I press the button?" And I think no.
This is like his storyline literally ends with like everyone. This is, I guess, a spoiler, but it's like a montage of everyone, like what everyone's doing in the very last 2 seconds. And then it like zooms into Anthony. You have to look at me though.
Taking it in the butt.
No, he's like this way. And like, he's getting like fucked in the ass. And then he's like
arching his
But this is what his face looks like, okay? It's like this. It's like, I was like, how long is he gonna make me do this? That is what happened.
I'm crying.
It's like
I hate it.
It's like he's like, ow, that hurts, but he's like, it kind of feels like there's a whole, maybe it's like a really good acting performance.
Okay. So what I want to leave our news and gossip section with is we got a lovely email.
Oh yeah.
As we've said, if you have feedback for us,
perfect example of that. Thank you.
It was great. Thank you for emailing us.
And it was funny too. It was like funny.
Before leaving a review that's negative and hurts our algorithm forever.
Yeah,
we really appreciate that. So they reached out and they sent us an email saying that they liked everything, but they did have one slight issue. Now I'm kind of wondering I'm thinking they mostly are listening to And Just Like That, or maybe, they're in the And Just Like That episodes.
I remember like when right before we even started doing this podcast, I had said to you, like, you can't try to predict what people are gonna like get upset about because like it will blow your fucking mind. And so like when I was reading this, I was like, oh, like I didn't realize we did. I'm like, I don't even remember saying any of this.
I hope I'm not offending the person. I like was laughing reading it because I was surprised, and I'm hoping that you don't take that the wrong way at all.
Oh no, we both genuinely
because
were like,
okay, so I do believe that they're probably still back watching
And Just Like That.
Back watching And Just Like That. I don't want my sleeve hanging out like that. That's gonna bug me. Anyway, I think they're back. Any gays? I think they're back watching And Just Like That. And because as it continues in here, I thought they were referencing last week's episode because I was definitely, I was full on being like, I'm so horny for Steve. He's so fine. Yeah. But then when I realized I'm believing they're listening back to the And Just Like That episodes, maybe,
we're really horny for Steve.
Because they are, their issue was now, I don't know if it was an issue. They were asking us, and this is where I was slightly kind of confused. They were asking us if we could tone down the thirstiness for old man Steve, basically, and saying that, comparing it to us saying that Che, like, we can't believe how much Sith and just like that is trying to make us believe that Che Diaz is like this sex god.
Yeah.
Like, we're basically doing the same thing, like trying to gaslight everyone to think that like Steve is this sex god.
But I gotta say, this episode's not gonna help you though.
Honey, I took a screenshot. Be prepared.
It made me horny for a second because I had never noticed that. I was noticing the food, obviously. I'm like, I always like that scene. He got his. Should I just put it up here?
Yeah, just do it. It's time.
Okay. So I'm like, remember that scene? Like he takes a big bite and he gets way too much cheese and it seems like it's really hot, but he kind of pushes through it. And John's like, I wasn't paying attention to that. I was just paying attention to his mouth. So then I actually took my eyes off the pizza for a second and I was like, whoa, damn.
Now, like, personally, if I were on a date with someone and their pizza eating style was to like full tongue it out and like do it like this, I don't know that I would think it was hot in person. But because I already have such a big crush on little Steve here, I was like,
look how cute he is.
I was also shocked that this pizza, 2 slices of pizza and 2 drinks was $5.90.
I know, and he goes, oh, like it's a lot of money.
1 piece of pizza. I don't even know if I could get 1 piece of pizza here for $5.
No, definitely not. That pizza looks good. But
anyway, thank you. I do want to say thank you for emailing us.
We'll do better.
I'm really sorry if us laughing about it is upsetting. I apologize, but and I've got to say, I'm gonna probably still thirst
we'll be at
for
least aware
Steve.
of it.
The problem is I'm gonna be aware of it, and then like I'll like kind of want to chuckle about it because it's cute.
You're fine. Let's talk about this.
As we know, recently this person named JD Vance has decided that single, childless, mostly childless.
That's really what it is.
Women and cat ladies in general are like the bane of this world and like ruining everything and the problem. And this man, I'll say, has also said that every child in the country should get a vote, but their parent should decide who the vote goes to until they're 18. He also allegedly had sexual activities with a couch. I said allegedly.
Well, also with a guy at an Applebee's, right?
There are alleged stories about that.
Yeah.
Where now I'm not trust me.
Yeah, I get it.
That makes it sound homophobic. Baby.
Yeah. That makes me like it a little more, actually.
Honey, I've met up with plenty of conservative men at an Applebee's. I get it.
Get those ribs, that rib basket.
Riblets, baby.
Oh, so tiny.
But yeah, I don't think that if you're doing all that, you need to be like, then also on the other hand, like trying to like say that gay people should be like deported off this earth and sent somewhere. Don't have a double standard, baby. Anyway, Cynthia Nixon posted cat ladies against JD Vance in this gorgeous garden holding this cat that I'm sure cost $5 million. That's definitely not a rescue cat. I will say that. Well, maybe it is. I'm judging. Yeah, watch it be like from the ASPCA or whatever.
It's like it was on the kill list.
It's just a very glorious cat. Yeah, that's what I'll say. And you know what? I love cats, and I'll say, anyway, whatever. I'm not taking sides here, but there is a new Kamala Harris has decided who her vice president running mate is going to be. And you know what? He has a cat at the governor's mansion, and its name is Afton, and they post Instagram updates about it. So that's all I'm saying. Animal lovers.
I'm sure that's not
people.
All you're saying. All right.
I'm just saying.
That's all John's going to say about
if you have issues with animals and stuff, I'm just kind of like,
don't mention animals at all, unless it's like something really nice. But anyway.
Cats and dogs? Come on.
Everyone likes cats.
We should care about the most vulnerable amongst us. And if you don't care about animals, especially ones we've domesticated and forced to live with us, then I'm sorry.
Chloe Sevigny doesn't like animals.
No,
She said it on
sorry.
RuPaul's Drag Race, and now I hate her.
She doesn't like what?
Animals. There was, I think it was the Latrice season. Someone came out with like something on their head, and
Dumb.
they said like it looks like a dead animal. And Chloe Sevigny is like, well, I don't like animals, so. And she was like dead serious, and I'm like, I don't like you. I don't like you.
I'm not like huge on aquatic like fish and things.
I think Chloe Sevigny doesn't like animals though.
Oh yeah, well then you're awful.
Yeah, I kind of get that vibe from her.
Okay,
But let's get into the episode,
yes,
right?
30 minutes in, we're now
gorgeous.
We're now ready to do
Back in the day,
baby.
I would have had to edit that out, like that whole section, and then post it on YouTube. It was a nightmare. All right, let's get into this. I'm leading this one, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm ready. So this episode starts with I remember this so much, where it's like, they say it's spring.
Yeah, and it has like this like rom-com feel kind of. I liked it.
Yeah.
It's a gentle start.
It's just very Sex and the City. Like whenever I've heard that in my life outside of Sex and the City, I always think of Sex and the City. And then Carrie goes into this whole like, I love New York in the springtime, the museums, Central Park. There's a lot of ways to say I love you, New York. Oh, no, sorry, I already fucked it up. It's easy to say I love you, New York, but it's not easy to say I love you, Mr. Big. So I'm doing like, you know what voice I was doing there? I was doing like Whitney's voice from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
It kind of was.
That's where I go for that one. Can't wait for that show to come back, by the way. What are you doing?
I'm just trying to. I feel hot. I'm trying to decide, like, if I should take this shirt. Okay, keep going.
You can mix it up. But then I will say, if you take that top shirt off, it's gonna be pink background.
Oh, it's just awful. Yeah, and I'm sure that I have like I feel like I have a sweat spot, at least a little one at least. Actually,
all right. Well, Carrie
really
realizes. Okay, so she realizes she loves Big. They're sitting at the breakfast nook. This seems so boring to me. Like,
I don't think Big's
TV,
life
please?
seems like one that I would really even want to be a part of. Not to be mean, but
agreed.
His life doesn't seem fun, like at all.
I know. They're like eating toast and just reading newspapers, which I feel is I feel like when Carrie does that, it's performative. It's like she's playing a part.
Well, she's reading the gossip columns, definitely. And she's definitely playing a part because she's sitting there like, what, like 1 foot up on the stool, like,
yeah.
This shirt is just falling off of me.
I'm so tiny. It won't stay on my shoulder.
I think Big looked hot this episode, though, for show. But I also was like, it was making me feel like, about him.
It also made me, I mean, I guess they play this correct, like right and well, that there is such a power imbalance between the two of them. Like I'm just always feeling that, which again, I guess was the point, because you definitely feel it.
Like where their thought process was in creating the story for this, or like why did they choose this episode to be about the power imbalance? Because there is a power imbalance also between Steve and Miranda, and there's the one between, like, they create them for Charlotte and Samantha.
Yeah.
But there already are the two. So I kind of wonder, like, where did they, anyway.
Great thought.
Any game.
All right, well, so then she goes, the second time I wanted to tell Big I loved him was this is where she has that crazy crimped hair, and it's after the ballet.
I thought it was cute, but again,
it was a cute little conversation too.
How do you straighten something just to curl it or crimp it?
So he's saying like, oh, the ballet dancers are on wires. Oh no, when I looked really closely, they were on wires. And then Carrie, this is obnoxious. Carrie's like, I love your hair like that. And then she like tells her no. And then she like does it again. And then she goes, and then there was the time I never expected to say it. I love this outfit. I always love this outfit. Do you know it? It's kind of a corset. It kind of looks like lingerie on top.
Okay.
But corset, and it's like baby blue with kind of red roses on it. And it's kind of just a corset like this, but it has two like little bra straps on it.
And it's a dress?
No, that's like a top, and then she has like a black skirt on, and then she's like running back and forth. She's like, if we take a cab on Madison, we can get there in 5 minutes. And
Okay, the outfit that sticks out to me on her, this one is the like striped dress that she wears
that's
like
not
to the party.
Yeah, that outfit is crazy, and I even to this day I don't know if I like it, but it definitely
I love it.
It left a memory. Like I definitely remember that dress because it doesn't make any sense. Now I guess I do like it. Big gives her this gift, and it's
a Judith Lieber purse. These like clutches, which are very famous, like famously popular. They're also like super, super, super expensive.
Right.
And what are your thoughts on this? I'd like to look up.
I mean, I would never
Judith
use
Lieber
this. I guess
purses
if it has a resale value, that's sweet. You're just being handed money, basically.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I could
carry this around.
I could currently go and buy myself a Judith Lieber. Okay, interestingly, they have like kind of a weird range here because you could buy one for $1,300.
Huh.
Oh, but that's literally just like the size of, it's like this big, and it's not a shaped bag. Okay, so for these like shaped bags, they're about $6,000 now.
Jesus.
But you know, compared to some other bags, that there's bags that are 10, 15,000. Like one of these is about the price of like a Chanel bag, I would assume. But some of these are butt ugly. Oh my God. The very first one that comes up is called Judith Lieber Couture French Fries Rainbow Clutch Bag. And it is a French fries like in a container with a rainbow on the front of the container. And it is $5,995.
That's stupid. That's like, you don't even know what to do with your money. So you buy that.
They're just butt ugly. Like,
yeah.
I didn't hate the bird one or the duck thing though. I just didn't like the chain hanging off of it.
Sure, but I can also Carrie's like, so then Carrie's now talking to her friends about it, and Big said, "I just saw it and thought of you." So then at breakfast, she's like retelling the story, and Miranda's wearing green hair. She looks really good. And she's like, "Yeah, like what do I do?" And they say, "What are you gonna do, Carrie?" And she said, "Well, I feel like this has the expiry date of milk. After about a week, it's gonna start to curdle." And Samantha has this line that I've always felt the delivery is weird, but she's like, it's crazy. You can tell a man, I hate you. You can have the best sex of your life. And tell a man, I love you. You'll probably never hear from him again.
I mean, I feel like I've had that experience before. I get it.
Yeah, I mean,
makes sense.
No, some of the best sex I've had has been like hateful sex. Like pretty hot.
Oh yeah. Well, that build up from where you hate, like don't like each other or hate each other, and then one day you like actually do it, and then it's like, okay, all downhill from there.
Obviously. But so Miranda's being optimistic. She's like, don't you guys think that maybe the man right now is trying to figure out a way to say I love you back? And so I guess Miranda's in the best mood. So we've never seen her be like this ever. Other than this. Like she's never optimistic.
It's because, again, sorry, friend, but Steve giving her that big bartender D.
He's dicking her down.
He is dicking her down for sure. He's dicking her into ecstasy. And the money doesn't matter, honey. The money doesn't matter. I actually felt really bad for her later.
I did.
I like kind of teared up. Like
I know. It's rough. They both play, but you feel bad for him too. Like you see both sides of it. As a 20-year-old watching this, like I totally was like, I don't see what the problem is here. But like I do, like now as a 41-year-old, I'm like, I can see how this would probably be a problem.
I don't get why it's a problem personally. I kind of think Steve should have been fine with letting her buy him a suit.
Yeah,
because they're going to a wedding that she asked him to come to. Like, it's not like, you know what I mean? And she didn't want him to wear that one. And yeah, he probably shouldn't have. He would have looked
Oh, well, so they're getting pizza, and Miranda's only lets him take. Okay, let's talk about this. So Miranda only let him take her out for things that he could afford. So they're getting pizza. A bartender in New York makes a lot of
That's
money.
what I was
In
thinking,
Manhattan,
especially when you see the squalor he's living in
that
later.
was crazy. I'm like, nah, no.
The place, Steve's apartment. Sorry to jump all over here, people, but Steve's apartment, literally, the walls are peeling off.
Yeah, and there's just like two copper pots hanging from the wall.
I don't think that they would be allowed to do that at all.
I mean, I'm sure that exists, but like not for like a successful bartender who seems like he has a stake in the bar too. He seems to at least be like management.
Even if you are a bartender, you can afford to take your girlfriend on a date that's more than $5.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Okay, but Amanda and I were just talking about.
Yeah.
So maybe that's my privilege talking, but
no,
I would think
I lived in New York and was single, and like I didn't even see apartments like that like being advertised. And I made enough to live.
I think that looks like beyond. It doesn't even make logical sense to me. The place he's living.
Yeah, he would be making more money than that.
He'd also probably be like dead because he'd have asbestos and he'd have mold and all kinds of stuff. Like those walls are growing something.
Like I feel like as a bartender, he'd be making, I don't know, $600 a night on like a average night.
I have no
400. I don't know.
I mean, the times were different, so it's hard to say. But I think he could afford more than $5. So that is kind of insulting, slightly, to Miranda.
No, it's almost worse.
But I kind of get like I probably would be more like. I get the Miranda. I could get both sides of this because I could see myself being in both positions.
Yeah, but I think Miranda's a little ignorant to think that it wouldn't be like a problem at all. But also, she's wearing a really cool outfit here. She's wearing like, oh, it's in this picture. She's wearing like an all gray suit with a matching gray turtleneck.
Yeah, and Steve's ready to fucking tongue down that piece of pizza like a champ.
Let's put up the picture again. Yeah. That looks real nice. All right. So Miranda's like, there's like this wedding, so should we go? And Steve's like, yeah, sure. And she's like, do you even have a suit? And he's like, yeah, it's gold corduroy. You can
see at first my memory was that he like was making it up. He was like, yeah, it's made of gold. Miranda, it's made of gold. Like it's just like that it isn't real.
Corduroy.
And then he's like, it's corduroy.
So I don't even know. You're doing like a like Cindy
Miranda,
Lauper, Penny Marshall. You're doing like a Penny Marshall kind of corduroy.
This is why I'm really bad at
impression.
Like
you're a good impression.
Acting.
Yeah, yes.
Like consistency.
Right,
cool. What's that?
So he takes her to his apartment. Which it also seems like he hasn't warned her that like I live in a complete shithole.
This doesn't make any sense.
Like, what were you expecting her reaction to be? And he's like, it's cheap. It's near the bar. You never have to come back here again.
Honestly, if he took me back here, I would probably start spiraling out. Even if he just even if he just says that if I never have to come back there, I would start, when I say spiraling out, I mean, I would start like trying to figure out how to get him out of there. That would be my number one mission is like, this man cannot live in this place because it instantly makes me want to throw up.
Yeah, no, it's like, rough. It kind of makes me
it is rougher than rough. It's not like, I'm not saying that I am like
there
OCD
might as well,
all over
there
the
might
place.
as well
it's
have
like,
been like a bucket on the ground with like a drip from the ceiling.
Seriously, like if you guys have watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, it's like Frank and what's his name's apartment? Charlie's apartment. That is like you can't like anyway. I'm probably sounding judgmental, but
I made her watch The Nightman Cometh, and she like hated it, but I think she did like it, but she's not liking
she
it.
was being like a contrarian.
Just to be a contrarian. She drives me fucking crazy.
I used to not like that show either. I used to be like, oh, this is too raunchy, or I don't know what my thought was.
Yeah, right.
But then it's like very, I like it. And then when Mac came out as being gay, I cried. And he did that dance in front of his dad and everything.
With that guy.
Don't even get me started. I would fuck him in any season of that show. He's like normal. Then he has that season where he gains a bunch of weight, which I was like, yeah.
And
it looks pretty damn good. And then they kept making him wear his like old clothes. So he was like that. He was like beefy and then was in super tight clothes, which yes. And then he loses all the weight. I want him all the time. And he dances. But what surprises me is he's married to
Caitlin
Sweet
Olsen.
D. And I think because of her character, she just doesn't seem like a likable person. But it's probably because of her character.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, I think she's like really funny.
Well,
she's annoying on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, she's on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Miranda has her first pangs of yuppie guilt. So so Charlotte, so now they're talking about Steve. Charlotte's kind of being a big biatch during this episode, but I guess she's kind of right. But she's like, well, maybe he's not always going to be a bartender. Like, it doesn't mean that he'll one day not become rich. And Miranda's like, but he's just happy being a bartender. And then Carrie, because this has to be about Carrie, she goes, it's not about money. Look at me and Mr. Big. It's not about money. It's about compatibility.
Well, she's definitely in that spot of like, okay, they're talking about disproportionate money in relationships. And I'm the Steve in this situation. So I got to be like, yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. I would love to be I'd be perfectly fine being with someone who has a shit ton of money. That'd be great.
That would make me really uncomfortable.
Oh, I would be perfectly fine. If there's someone out there who has a shit ton of money, I'm fine with it. If you've struggled in the past with power dynamics, I'm fine with it. You can pay for everything.
I think also she's saying it's not about money. I'm like, but I don't think you'd be dating Big if he was a bartender and that was his apartment.
She has fucked guys like that, but that hasn't been her like one.
So there's kind of about money, Carrie.
Well, Big also wouldn't be the same person if he didn't have money, because if he didn't have money, he would be kind of boring and nothing. Actually.
Yeah, true.
Like his allure would not be the same if he was just like he didn't give, as we know.
Yeah. Well, so Samantha's like, well, how is he in bed? And Miranda's like, it's just mind blowing. And Samantha goes, well, it seems like a perfect relationship to me. And I thought that was nice and supportive. And then Charlotte's like, I can't believe you would even consider dating this guy. He's working class. And then Carrie's like,
I thought Charlotte seemed like an idiot in this episode.
Yeah, right. And it's like, Charlotte, you work in a gallery for like
Charlotte
20 hours
also
a week.
Clearly only would marry a rich man, and that's all she ever does in this whole show.
Okay.
She's my queen though, and just like that.
Yeah. No, she's good. No, she's good in this too. They talk about the money. Steve working class, and Charlotte says, "You're trying to say we live in a classless society, and we don't." And then they all look down at they're all getting pedicures, and it's all Asian women. We were talking. Did we say this on air or off air of like whether or not like this could they go this hard with this? Because this whole episode is about class, and they do reference like different classes, and all of the minorities that are referenced are all Asian in this episode.
Well, I think that they would have, I don't know. At first, when they sat down to get their nails done, I thought that it was a little inappropriate because
they can understand English.
But this show, the lead characters, just like on Friends, the lead characters are all white, and the only time that they incorporate non-white people, well, okay, Samantha does date like that one black guy, and then
so does Miranda.
And Miranda dates
what's his name?
Blair Underwood?
Robert.
Is that his
name? Yeah, but his name is Robert on the show.
He is. I cannot wait for those episodes. Anyway, but I do love Steve. I thought it was like, I'm like, oh God, this is kind of uncomfortable because they're all sitting down, this group of 4 white women, and then getting their nails done. And then in a way, it was, I guess, good that they acknowledged it. Like it was to prove a point. But I
Yeah.
also am like,
Also, they can hear you
is
all
this
talking.
a point that like are they making the point the right way? I don't know. It seems a little cliche.
we're gonna veer into a definitely better ways to make this point from Samantha going, I know it's so hard. I'm dating a guy and he's so rich he has an actual servant.
This was giving me like Family Guy vibes when they're like in the middle of a scene and then they're like, you know what?
Yeah,
I did
cutaways.
this, but blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay.
You think that's bad.
Samantha is dating this man who has this. Did she call her a servant?
She says an actual servant, and which don't love that.
I don't know what you would say,
like
a housekeeper, I guess.
His apartment and everything, like he seems less rich than Samantha. So this just seems like
it's
a
smaller.
flex.
It's smaller than Samantha's. And the whole situation's weird. I don't like the way they did this either. I feel like it was really heightened.
It's an Asian woman and her name is Sum. Which does have to do with a hilarious joke later.
Spoiler alert, if you didn't actually watch the episode, they make a joke that says like, she isn't such a dim Sum.
No, you totally fucked it up.
I'm mad at you.
Turns out she wasn't so dim, that Sum.
Yes. So I need to know, did they decide to name her Sum so they could make a fucking dim sum joke? And then that makes me want to vomit.
Yeah, that's really
I can't. Wrong. That's just
dim sum joke. I think that's what the whole character was created for. Like, guys, I got a great zinger for later. A good pun for Carrie. Let's write an Asian character and call her a house servant. So now, so that's fine. Anyway, it turns out that servant is in love, I guess, or I don't even know if it's a love thing with Mr. Harvey, but
I don't know I didn't really understand what the real point want another of this woman whole storyline.
Well, I guess she probably does want to fuck him. But that guy seems like he has a small dick though. Big takes Carrie out, and it seems like he's gearing up to say "I love you" back, and he goes, "About the other night, I've been meaning to tell you, the purse, you can take it back." And then Carrie says, that was the first time I ever wanted to tell Mr. Big, I hate you. Now Charlotte's at the
I get that.
Well, I get this. You like that?
Because she was expecting him to say I love you back.
Well, also, but we kind of glazed over that, but like that is a rough circumstance because she says this, like, now it's just out there. Now the I love you is out there. And like he does have to I feel like there is a shelf life on it.
Yeah, it's a hard one because I'm very exclusive with my saying I love you to like even some just people in general.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I feel like I say it to like my mom, to my dad, to my grandma, like. Anyway, so I think I would probably take a little longer than maybe some other people would to say I love you.
Because Big's reaction is that he just says, "Well, I'll wait in the car, or I'll meet you downstairs," and he like kisses her on the head.
I think unfortunately I would just say I love you back even if I wasn't ready.
100%. Well, that is the appropriate thing to do.
But it's actually not that great because you're setting up this idea, like you're basically lying to the person right away.
I mean, what is a good thing to say though? Even if the truth is, I really like you and I probably could love you. I mean, I guess that's probably the most honest thing to say.
I would maybe try. I mean, this is a great way to probably have the person just instantly break up with you, but just saying like, I'm not ready to say that. And that's just me. I don't know.
That's at least like a week's worth of really awkward, like now it's.
I think I would just say it just to be done with it, so I don't have to deal with it. But then I would be kind of like, I kind of
it kind of takes
I think
the
it
wind out of their
sucks
sails a bit.
because the whole thing though, because then if you're the person who's then lied about it or said it just because, you're now sitting with it the rest of the time being like, I don't really mean that. I shouldn't have said that. Should I have said that? They really love me.
I guess
I don't really
that would
love
at least
them.
speed
Like,
up the breakup then, because then at least now it's out there, and now you kind of have to like get your ass in gear and decide like, all right, well now I guess I need to decide, could I love this person or should I just break up with them? So maybe that's
yeah, I
good.
guess I think if I'm at a point with someone where they're gonna say they love me, I would most likely love them as well. Like I can't imagine they would just like love me so much.
It seems to happen like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's about the purse. So Charlotte now is at the gallery, and this Hollywood actor is there, and he's like this stupid douchebag, and he's like, who is this? Who's the artist? It's a fire extinguisher. And Charlotte's like, no, that's a fire extinguisher for the gallery. She's like, but you could take it home and just put it up, and I think people would believe it. And then he's like, you're adorable. And then they make out in his limo. And then he's like, oh, the champagne's running right through me. Driver, stop. I'm going to need to take a leak. Which is gross.
And Charlotte's like acting like a groupie. Like she's in her dress, like strap is like hanging down. And she's like, has that like swept over hair. And she's like, I'm just like a totally different person.
Yeah, she calls Carrie and she's like, he's taking a leak in the alley. Isn't that cute? And Carrie's like, listen, get out of there. And Charlotte's like, everything went out the window. Like, this is happening. So now we go to Samantha. She's left in bed at Mr. Harvey's place. He's like, just stay there and relax, which I've had so many guys do this to me. And I'm like, I don't want to stay and relax. This isn't my fucking house.
Now, if you had a housekeeper, I would.
If what?
If the housekeeper was going to make you breakfast, then yeah.
I would never.
It depends on how nice the place is. I would stay. I've done it before.
Like, okay. All right. I just want to get the fuck home.
Now, if the place is not nice, then no. But if the place is nice and
it's like
the guy's like, I'll have some make you breakfast, I'd be like, fuck yeah.
You wake up at Steve's house and he's like, make yourself comfortable.
I would never wake up at Steve's house because there is no way I would be able to fall asleep at Steve's house.
Could you even
My anxiety would be at the peak of everything. Yeah, I would be like, I don't even think I'd be able to lay down there. I'd be freaked out.
I don't even know if the bed could like fit two people. It looks like a little orphan Annie bed.
It is disturbing. I mean, Steve is kind of little, so it's probably perfect size for him, but I'm just thinking.
Anyway. Ugh. The servant, let's not forget that, comes in and she's like, God, okay, I'm not going to do the accent.
Don't.
I don't know why.
She's like, I actually thought I didn't like the way they really did this either, because I can almost guarantee this actress her accent is not this thick.
I definitely believe that. She's like, get up. I don't have time to make you breakfast. You get up.
She's like, I have so much to do.
And, I got a lot of work to do.
Samantha,
like, what in this 2-bedroom apartment? Like, what is there to do?
What drove me crazy is Samantha's wearing like a teddy kind of like nighty thing, which covers your body, and she's getting up, like getting shoved out of the bed. She's like scrambling for her dress to like cover herself in the nighty. But like, just some, like, you're basically in a dress already. I guess.
Well, anyway,
I question that acting choice.
So now we have this scene at the suit shop. And Steve's like, I look pretty good if I do say so myself.
And he did.
Yeah, he looked real good. I think it's kind of crazy how good I look. He's so cute. And
he should have just let her pay for the suit.
I know. And so the suit is $1,800. And Miranda says, don't worry, I got this. So I looked up in today, this would be $3,500 about.
I could never, I've considered in the past like trying to buy a suit like to have, but I feel like my weight fluctuates too much.
That's 100% why I would never buy anything fit for my body.
And I'm not saying like fluctuates too much, but like if you gain or lose like 10 pounds, a suit is not fitting you.
Yeah, I know.
Like I don't want to look I don't want to be wearing a baggy suit just as much as I don't want to be wearing like a skin tight suit that obviously I bought when I weighed 10 pounds less.
Obviously,
so I don't understand how these people buy suits. I mean, they must have much better control over all their well-being.
Yeah.
Maybe other people's weight doesn't fluctuate 10 pounds.
Maybe. You know? I'm a little more than 10. Anyway, Steve's paying and he has to split between cards and cash. And Miranda's like, let me buy it. Let me buy it. And he's like, will you please just let me buy the fucking suit? Which I totally get.
This drove me crazy though, because
but you get it.
I don't.
I actually think it's a man thing. I think it's just he felt really little. I don't think so.
I think it is.
I would feel really uncomfortable.
I think if it were the other way around, this would be nothing. I think if it was him taking her to go buy a fancy dress to wear to a wedding that he invited her to, there would be no.
But I don't think he's never felt. I think he's always kind of felt poor. So this just isn't really helping. It's not like they're equal at all. I mean, but,
I guess it's just annoyed me because I'm like, then if you like, you shouldn't have gone there. Just the whole situation is, and then it makes me annoyed later.
Like, what did you think it was going to cost?
When he's like, I returned the suit and it just wasn't me. Or whatever the hell he says. And it's like, babe, I need you to have the fucking suit on so we can go to this fucking dinner. Are you kidding?
On our way out. And you came,
like, I do not care.
Over here to tell me this. You couldn't like call me 3 hours ago and let me know.
I've completely understood Miranda's reaction and her idea of being like, okay, well, because I mean, jumping forward here.
Yeah, it's pretty much it.
Her being like, because I'm successful, I'm fucked, basically. Like, and that is kind of what it is. And it's kind of unfortunate that success is often measured in what you monetarily make, because Steve is successful as well as a bartender.
Yeah, that's like a good job.
It's just that the two jobs, unfortunately, being a lawyer and being a bartender, have different pay scales. Yeah. So I just think like...
Was it you like there was someone in my life that argued that Steve was not trying to break up with her here. Was that you that used to always say that I've like argued with about this, where I'm like, I
don't think so.
Where it's like, well, whoever it was is like, I think that all he wanted was for her to say, no, it doesn't matter. But I don't get that at all. I think he came to break up with her because he's like, you deserve someone better than this.
I think he came to break up with her.
Yeah, and he's like, I didn't feel very good at the store.
Not in a way that he doesn't want to be with her, but because he can't be with her because he feels like a piece of shit when he's with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which I get that too, but like you kind of got to get over it. And
I think though that's something you should have gotten over a little before now. Like you knew she was a lawyer from the start, babe.
He pursued her so hard.
And like what are you, I mean, though I don't think Steve comes off as like incredibly intelligent.
Yeah.
Not to say he's stupid, but so I'm like, you wouldn't be able to tell, like, when she says, oh, yeah, you can take me out. She's telling you to take her to, like, the dirt cheapest place she can possibly find every time.
Let's go to the
And she's a lawyer. And she's saying, oh, yeah, let's go get $1 slice.
It's my favorite place. Like, I know this great spot.
Really?
Well,
anyway, I still love Steve.
That's that storyline wrapped up. Let's wrap up Samantha and Mr. Harvey. And that's so another time they're hanging out.
They just fucked in the bed. Yeah. He's like, okay, honey, I'm gonna take a shower. I'm talking like her. Okay, I'm gonna take a shower. Whatever. He goes in the shower. I almost just called her dim sum, which I hate.
Because
Some goes in and like starts doing starts fixing the bed kind of, and she goes up to Samantha and she picks up a condom and she's like, you dirty whore, you little
she's like,
skanky
dirty girl,
slut.
nasty.
and Samantha's like, what the fuck?
Which like,
and then
I'm so aware that she's like dangling like cum and there's cum.
Okay, it was a wrapper. It was a condom wrapper. Luckily.
Okay.
When she was first reaching for it, I'm like, what? She's gonna pick up a cum-filled
See, now I forgot
condom?
about there was a condom. In my memory, it's that she found like a stain on the sheet.
No, she picks up a condom. Is like, you dirty whore, you dirty
Nasty.
whore. And then they have this like kind of weird tussle where she's like trying to do something, and then she kind of falls down, and then Samantha's like, oh, oh, and the guy comes out of the bathroom like, what did you do to some? Because she's like, she beat me, she hit me, which
mean lady beat me.
This is such a cliche story.
He's like, I think you need to get out of here.
So he doesn't even let Samantha explain or anything. I'm like, this wouldn't happen either.
Yeah, and so then Carrie's voiceover says, turns out she wasn't so dim, that's some.
That was where I need this show to have been canceled.
And then they played dun 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 and hit a gong.
Ew.
So let's wrap up Carrie. Oh, do you want to wrap up? Let's wrap up Charlotte. She's out with this Hollywood star, and he says, I want you to go into the bathroom, put your fingers in your wet, sloppy pussy, and come out and let me smell them.
Which was stupid, because why wouldn't you just say, hey, stick your finger in your pussy?
Yeah, because you're right there at the table.
Or why doesn't he stick his finger in her pussy and smell it? It's like, this is illogical.
Come on. Yeah,
she just crammed herself back, because the beginning of this scene is her bringing him drinks, cramming herself like back into the booth, crawling all over these people. The second she sits down, he's like, hey, put your finger in go to the bathroom, put your finger in your pussy and come back and let me smell it.
This is after he I was gonna say motorboat, but what's it called? The smoking.
Oh, shotgunning.
He shotguns her. He forces shotgun marijuana.
We've skipped that part. That was
this all kind of happens together.
I mean, now I've tried some freaky things before, but in the middle of the club, I would not go to the bathroom, stick my finger though, and do that. And then
logistically, she could really just do it. It's way hotter if she just does it there.
Exactly.
What if she's in the bathroom like a while? Oh, I got in there and I realized I really had to take a shit.
Once I got my finger up there, I had a lot of pressure, and a turd just like started. I just had to get on the toilet. Lovely.
So but then after I wipe my ass, I put my fingers in my pussy. Here it is.
Our digital footprint is just fucked forever. When we're like 90, this is gonna still exist, and it's gonna be like people are gonna be watching this, and we're gonna be like in an old person's home, being like, "Yeah, I used to make podcasts, and we talked about putting fingers in pussies." Oh, Lord. Says,
are we done with all
so then basically Charlotte has like her epiphany. She like that was like her moment of like, those times when you're like doing shit you shouldn't, maybe doing things with someone, and then it's like the light bulb moment where you're like, okay, I'm done, goodbye. Yep, done. So then she just leaves, which I liked.
So we're at this party at Serena Bush's house. This woman has, like, I've always thought this, the most perfect boobs in the world. I want to run my hand just down the front of her body.
Well, it's the way she's like carrying herself like this, and they like stick out, and she has no bra on, and she's wearing like a knit kind of looking thing.
I mean, I always thought she was kind of a slut,
she gives back in
me the day, but now I'm like, that looks good.
She gives me like lizard person vibes in a weird way. There's something about the way she like carries herself, and she's just like, Terrace,
can't smoke in here. No.
She's like so perfect in this.
Yeah, no, it's great, and just her body is just banging. But anyway, Carrie knew her before when she used to date a drug dealer. Anyway, she comes from money, this woman. Everyone there has these purses, and then Carrie, of course, turns this into something that it doesn't need to be. She's like, I looked around and I realized this is what Big saw me as. And it's like, you need to chill the fuck out. This is like obviously the women that he sees around. In his head, he's thinking, oh, this is what the style is. And then he was out and he's like, I want to buy something for Carrie. Oh, women like these.
Now, I can kind of understand.
Like herself in front of him anyway.
Because there is a slight impersonality about it.
Yeah, but big, like, I feel like that was a lot of effort for him.
I also think like men are like, they have done that since the birth of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you go to a store on Valentine's Day, the lines are out the door of men buying a bouquet of flowers and a card. Like, you couldn't have done a little better than that. Like, any gays.
Everyone there had purses. Oh, Carrie's straight hair we already talked about. So then Carrie orders like a scotch and soda or something, and then the waiter's like, Miss Bush doesn't serve any brown food or drinks. And then Carrie's like, that's fucked up. So then she gets like a vodka tonic. And then
she's insane though, because just after hearing that someone doesn't serve brown food or drinks, you're gonna light up a cigarette in their house.
Can you like, that was insane.
What?
Like, I mean, like, is this okay? But Carrie seems to think this is not okay anywhere. This is what Che Diaz used to do. This is not ever okay to just light up indoors in somebody's home. That's nuts. So
this is almost like worse than Che Diaz though, because like I'm trying to think of the places Che Diaz like lit up. Oh, the elevator at the podcast.
At the funeral.
That at least was outside.
Kind of.
That was on an outside area. This makes no sense to moi.
Well, Big's like, so she's like, oh, Carrie's like, oh, what, you know, talking shit. And then Big's like, well, you don't have to be a bitch. Carrie's like, I'm not being a bitch. And he says, you're being a little bit of a bitch. I always thought that was funny. Because like, that's the way you can actually call someone a bitch and kind of get away with it. You're being a little bit. So she gets chased out to the terrace, and then Carrie's in the balcony, and cater waiter Jeremiah, he's a cater waiter, but also he's an actor. Just shows you the fun reality of the profession that we did for so long. They had flirted for years, aka he's not rich enough for her to actually date. But
didn't she say he like did?
He's like a performance artist or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a performance artist.
Yeah, which is even lower than like actors. She's like, so this is where Carrie is 100% in the wrong.
Now, I love performance art. I'm sorry, I want to preface, I do love performance art. When we say a performance artist is lower than an actor, I'd say I think we more mean that your like employment opportunities are like small.
But I also think it's all in a caste system. I feel like that's lower. Is that in a class
then like a stage professional stage actor, probably.
Yeah. So he's like, you want to see my tattoo? It's on my dick. And she's like, ooh, like you're in the wrong. Immediately you're in the wrong, Carrie.
Like
sorry.
This.
Yeah.
I hate tattoos like this.
They're really skanky.
Yeah. It feels like, very sexual.
It just seems like you're walking sex. You're just
I would feel like if I had a tattoo right above my dick, like my dick would just be like hard all the time or something. It just feels very sexual.
It does feel
too
very
sexual.
Like you're always ready to go.
Like if someone catches a glimpse of a tattoo that goes from my stomach down into my pants to my dick.
Yeah.
I would never have that, obviously.
Well, as Carrie's down there, like right next to his dick, Serena walks in and she's like, oh, excuse me. So then she goes in and she like,
are you sucking his cock, Carrie? Just kidding.
She goes in and tells Big, and Carrie comes in, and Big's like, were you just blowing the cater waiter out in the balcony? And Carrie's like, no,
yes.
I'm offended you would even ask. But it's like, well, you were doing something.
You were bent over in front of him. Like, really?
So she does make a good point. Like, well, if you had joined me out in the balcony like a gentleman, which he should have, because Big also smokes. So it seems like he would have gone with her.
You know what? I agree, but I also think that Carrie could have maybe like taken more than 2 minutes at the party before she thought she needed to desperately have a smoke because everyone was carrying Judith Lieber bags. Like, we're at a party. Why don't we like? Can I talk to a few people before I'm like, gotta go smoke on the terrace for half an hour?
And no one at the party was smoking. Like,
exactly. She was the only person on the terrace except for the cater waiter, who I guess also got to take his break on the terrace, smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, and you don't get breaks at those kind of.
There were times when I worked. I did a couple cater waitering situations.
I've done it, yeah. Actually, honey, those are great jobs. They're so easy.
Agreed.
And no one,
you do your thing in and out. You get your money. You know exactly what you're getting.
And it's like Uber Eats in the fact that no one really gives a fuck. Like, you don't have a boss, really.
No.
No one cares if you fuck up royally, whatever.
But I'm telling you, you're not taking cigarette breaks on the terrace with guests. That ain't happening.
Yeah, you're not speaking to the party guest. But so Carrie's like, he's like, you're embarrassing me. And then she gets super offended, but like, you're acting embarrassing. Like, she's been embarrassing since the second she entered the party.
Yeah, it's her typical thing where she has, but this is a common thing, I think, in general, is like having expectations for people that they can't meet and wanting someone to be someone they're not, but then also wanting them to accept you at yourself, but then also trying to pretend to be someone else because you think they're going to want you like that. That was I wasn't all over the place thought, but also pretty kind of deep.
You landed the plane.
Is your edible helping that part? Did that?
No, my edible is really making me have to concentrate. I have like a whole Papa John's pizza downstairs because it was 2 for $1, and like I've been like thinking about the pizza for. So I'm gonna have to eat a slice before we start the next episode. Next morning, so Carrie is walking home with Jeremiah, and they're singing "Joy to the World," and it was really cute to hear Sarah Jessica Parker sing.
Yeah, I didn't even remember that she did that.
Well, she does.
Don't remember that happening.
Just now you did?
Yeah, I can't remember that happening in this episode.
Well, her voice sounds
like
really
the
good.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
Yeah, because his name is Jeremiah. So then she takes him up to the apartment. Then the next morning, Big calls and he goes, "What the fuck happened last night?" And she's like, "Nothing, I'm fine." And he's like, "I fucking love you, okay?" I just like but then right when that happens, it pans out and Jeremiah's still laying there, and you kind of forgot that she had gone home with him. And then I kind of love here because then she goes, "Did we do anything?" And he goes, "Definitely not." And I kind of like the ambiguity and
ambiguity.
There we go. Don't you have right? But do you? Because we're not supposed to really know, right? I mean,
I thought that I thought they meant they didn't. Maybe
but they
I'm
were
naive.
like but why wouldn't they have? They were like fine. They were like
I didn't know why they wouldn't have either.
See, I took it more as like she's like it was clearly her boyfriend on the phone because she like puts her hand over Jeremiah's mouth, and she's like, "Did we?" And like he kind of takes a second, and then he goes, "Definitely not." Like. It's going to be better if we both
it's okay to just lie about it, but
we'll have to
see. Yeah. We'll have to see in the next episode because I can't imagine they'll just gloss over like, "Oh, Carrie cheated on Big that night." Oh well,
it never gets mentioned again.
Well, then that makes me believe that they didn't, because I feel like that would be a storyline.
No, because then we have this last line like, "I felt the lowest of the low, but I never told Mr. Big the truth. I figured." Everything before I love you just doesn't count. And I feel like that is a pretty
stupid.
No, I think it's a good statement to say because I think that applies to a lot of relationships that have like even like Tom and Ariana and like stuff where it's like when he cheated on her with Miami Girl, there is kind of that weird thing before you're official and before you said I love you, where it is kind of a gray area and it's almost forgivable if you kind of go off and fuck someone else. Like I can see how people can justify that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the opposite stance.
Really? Okay.
I think if you're dating someone and going towards the place of knowing you're gonna like want to be in a steady relationship with them, you shouldn't really be like craving dick other places. Like,
well, she was just trying to get back at him though, so it's okay.
But I would say in Tom and Ariana's situation, anyway, I will never take Tom Sandoval's side. Anyway, guys, please send us your sexy stories because we still haven't gotten any.
Oh, I forgot about that. We don't have time anyway.
So it's time. Thanks, Mom. Mom's here to keep us on time track.
I want
babes.
that pizza.
Oh, Amanda needs her pizza. Okay, guys, we're out of here. We love you guys so much. And bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, I should press it.